Good to see everybody. It's certainly exciting to be here in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl. I know our guys are excited to be here. It's one of the longest standing bowls out there. I think I've heard either fifth or sixth oldest, and Memphis certainly does a great job with their hospitality. I actually played here on the 1988 Indiana team. Was a member of an Indiana team that won 31-10, so that was certainly a great memory of mine. But again, it's always nice to be able to extend your season into the bowls, and then taking it a step further for our guys. You know, it's kind of been an up and down season for us. Started fast and certainly stubbed our toe middle of the season. Kind of found our way a little bit and then faltered there down the stretch. So I think our guys are just excited about the opportunity to play another football game. And we've had good preparation so far. Polished it up today with a real focused Thursday-type practice for us. And certainly know that we have a great challenge Monday in trying to slow down a very, very potent West Virginia offense. I think the mindset out there is they're just a throw-it-every-down type of team, and they certainly have got a very, very strong passing attack that we'll have to deal with. I think their running attack is certainly underrated. They go very deep, 4 or 5 guys deep at the running back position. So we're going to have our hands full. Certainly a dual-threat quarterback in Skylar Howard. You look at the receiving core. White, number 11, Alford, number 5, certainly present challenges. So we're going to have our hands full. The thing that we've tried to do over the past couple of weeks is give our guys a plan, to go into the game with enough ammunition to be successful, at the same time not handcuff our guys. So like I say, we're excited to be here, looking forward to the game Monday afternoon. And with that, I'll take some questions.
Mark, as you watch the tape and videos, any impressions that Kevin White made on you?
Yeah, he makes an impression real quick. Certainly as good a receiver that's out there. I say, we're going to try to give our guys some relief in different ways, but certainly an outstanding guy. I know he was up for the top receiver. I believe it's a Biletnikoff Award, and finished probably a very close second to Amari Cooper, who we saw at Alabama, but certainly a talented guy, certainly a home run threat. And the thing is, you turn all your attention to him, and they've got other pieces around him that can hurt you. So we're going to pick our spots, but he's certainly going to be a handful for us. We'll have our work cut out for us.
But I think it was Baylor and Oklahoma State, or a couple teams actually had some reasonable success with him. Did you check? Do you have any idea what they did?
Oh yeah. I mean, we looked at their entire season. We've watched every game and kind of picked, some things out of probably every game that we liked, and then tried to adapt it to what we do as a team. And but I go back to what I said. We don't want to handcuff our guys and do everything Monday night. Like I said, we've I think installed a plan as a defensive staff that we can go out and execute things our guys feel comfortable with. At the same time, try to give us a little bit of a buffer, some protection on the back end to help with a guy like White.
Mark, how much are you enjoying the opportunity to coordinate, I think, for the first time, and also just how much are you embracing this challenge, this opportunity?
Well, it's something I was asked that question a couple of weeks ago. Was certainly not thinking about it, late in November, and when it happened. You really don't have time to sit back and kind of gather your thoughts. It was a heavy time with recruiting, so we hit the road. The rest of the staff, myself and I, Terry Price, Terry Joseph, we've just come together collectively, to embrace our players and give our guys, again, the best chance, the best plan to go out and execute. But it's something, again, it's been fun. We'll see how it all comes together on Monday. But certainly appreciate the opportunity that Coach Sumlin has given me. And but again, I look at it as a collective effort. Somebody asked a couple weeks ago, well, how much are you going to do different? I mean, it's not like spring practice where you're going to have a month to go out and install a new defense. I mean, what we do is what we do. We went back and looked and self-scouted ourselves, pick out things that we feel like we do well, and try to eliminate the things that have hurt us through the course of the season. And again, go into this game with a plan that our players feel like they can execute, yet at the same time have enough bullets to try to slow down West Virginia.
Does it make your game planning a little easier knowing that Trickett's not going to be playing after retiring yesterday, that you're going to have to prepare for Howard?
I don't think so. To be honest with you, I think, and this is nothing against Clint. Clint's an outstanding quarterback. But if you go back and watch his play, he's a pocket guy. He's going to scramble around and try to find guys down the field, and that certainly can present problems to you. Howard, on the other hand, is more of a dual threat guy, and I think anytime you get a quarterback back there that can throw it as well as run it, and is not afraid to tuck it and run it, it presents a whole set of new problems for you. So we've prepared for both. We felt like all along when we were paired with West Virginia that, you know, we were going to see both quarterbacks, and now this maybe gets us dialed into a little bit more quarterback run game. But at the same time, they've still got the same potent passing attack. So we got to be ready for it from all angles. Again, I mentioned the running back core earlier. That's one thing you don't hear about a lot, and I think they're outstanding from top to bottom. You know, you talk first and foremost about Shell, number 7, big, powerful guy transferred in from Pitt. Some people had him rated as the number 1 running back a couple of years ago coming out of high school. And then you go to Smallwood, who's again a talented guy, but probably maybe their fastest running back, 30 catches out of the backfield. You go to number 2, who's the JUCO transfer, played with Tommy Sanders at Butler, another big, powerful guy. So I can go down the list of the guys. That's one group you don't hear a ton about, and I think the rushing attack is very unheralded and something we got to be ready to step up and defend.
I know you don't normally talk about injuries, but has the break helped Miles Garrett? Should we see him? Will he be
yeah. We expect Miles to be out there going 100 miles an hour. And, again, I think our guys, looking at the big picture, our guys are as healthy as we can be at this point of the season. You know, I think Coach Sumlin gave these guys a great schedule in terms of taking a little bit of time off to get their bodies healed up a little bit, get ready for finals. At the same time, we've come back and our guys have gone to work. I think we had practice number 11 as I count it today. And so, you know, our guys, considering they've gone through a 12-game schedule, you look on top of that, an SEC West schedule. You know, we're bruised and battered, but again, I think we're as healthy as we can be or expect to be at this point of the season.
You do that self-evaluation or any common denominators of why you were able to have success in the games when you thought your defense did have success?
You know, I think it was a lot of little things. You know, I think when we were able to go out and execute early, play together, and maybe this sounds like a lot of coaching talk, but have some success early, get off the field on third down, tackle well, limit big plays, things that we're going to have to do Monday to be successful. Those are things that, you know, when we went back as a staff and looked, you know, in the games that we had success on defense, those were the things that we were doing. And when we stubbed our toe middle of the season, you know, those were the things we weren't doing. We weren't getting off the field on third down. We weren't tackling well. We weren't maybe getting to the ball collectively like we need to do. So those are the things that we've talked about here the past couple of weeks. Is it starts with great energy and effort on Monday. I think again, our guys are going to be excited. Our seniors are going to want to go out. Is potentially a Texas A&M team that's won 4 straight bowl games. We've talked to our young guys about jump-starting the 2015 season. And so I think our guys are going to be excited to play. There's a great challenge in playing West Virginia. And then you take it a step further. You know, you got to tackle in space. If you don't, these guys have home run hitters. We've already talked about White and Alford and the running back core. If you don't tackle in space, there's big play potential there. And then, you know, you get them to third down. You know, you have some success maybe in early downs. If you force them into third down situations, you got to get off the field. Third down's money down. And then we've got to limit the explosives. We counted 65 plays of 20-plus yards over the 12-game season. That's a lot. And half of them come from White and Alford. And there's a bunch of other guys sprinkled in there that are hitting the big plays too. So it's going to be a challenge. But those are things we need to do. We need to tackle in space. You know, we need to get off the field on third down and then force some turnovers. You know, I'll be honest with you, West Virginia's turned the ball over some, you know, and they're minus in the turnover ratio like we are. And so I think it's a team that can go out there and force the other team into some mistakes and maybe get a couple easy scores off that.
How will it work in communication, Mark? Are you going to be in the booth? Are you going to be on the field?
I'll be on the field. I'll be on the field, and we'll have our young guys, our grad assistants will be up in the box. I thought it was important that we keep Terry Price and Terry Joseph on the field. Their players are used to having them down there, and I certainly wanted to be down on the field to get a feel for the game and whatnot, and be able to look those guys in the eyes, you know, when they come off on the field or before they take the field. So we'll manage it. You know, we're certainly down a coach, but we'll get certainly enough eyes up in the box to get the things communicated down to us.
Mark, how much has it helped to practice against a similar type of offense in terms of tempo and so forth?
It's great. You know, we see that every day. Our offense is going fast. They're giving us obviously the no huddle. They're, and they've got the different speeds within the up tempo that West Virginia will give us. So that's been great to be able to see that every day. You know, throughout the spring, fall camp, and we're always going against our offense. You know, even when we're preparing for an opponent on an upcoming Saturday. So that's been good. I think the thing that West Virginia gives you, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, they give you more run concepts, I think. They give you more personnel groups. And so that's one thing we've had to practice against our scout guys quite a bit, are the different, what we call 30 personnel, where they get 3 backs back there with the 2 wide receivers, diamond formation. Sometimes they'll put their fullback in the backfield, create a diamond formation. So some different unique things that they do in the running game that we've had to work with our scout guys. But certainly from a passing game, the structure, tempo, getting lined up, which again is that mentioning things that we look back in the season. When we had our struggles there in the middle against Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and even Alabama at times, people going, quick, no huddle, up tempo, especially after a big play, and we're not doing a very good job of communicating. That obviously starts with us as coaches to be able to get a call out to them and get our guys lined up quicker and faster, so we're down and ready to go.
How do you handle and approach it for you and your players to enjoy the bowl experience, but still get your work done and treat it like that business training?
Well, I think, Coach Sumlin certainly set out a great plan for our guys. We were able to go home a week ago. I think, is today Saturday? We were able to practice last Saturday back in College Station. We got done about noontime, and then we cut our guys loose to get home Saturday, Sunday, Monday, get home and get a break. We'd gotten some great work done there in College Station, but Coach Sumlin was cognizant enough of, hey, these guys still got to get away and be home with their families. And I think our players see that and they appreciate it. I can't remember a practice that we've had that we've really had to go out there and try to pry and pull teeth and get our guys to give it to us from a tempo and an energy standpoint. And again, it gets back to, I think our seniors are realizing this might be the last time I put those pads on, and that's kind of a punch to the gut, when a game that you've played your whole life is coming to an end. The odds are none of these guys will ever play again. And we tell them as coaches, we hope you all get the opportunity and you continue to go on and play at the next level. But the odds are none of them will. So this will be the last time they strap it on. So those guys, I think, have given it to us from a leadership, from a senior standpoint. And then our young guys, I think, just the challenge of going out and getting a better taste in our mouth, because, we certainly didn't have it those last 2 weeks against Missouri and LSU. So our guys are excited to play and anxious to take the field Monday. Well, Jake's given us a great scouting report on these guys, and but again, Jake's been around the block, and we as coaches realize that, there's an understanding there. Obviously, Jake's been a part of that program, and so they're gonna change some things from a signal standpoint, and I think sometimes you get into a game as a coach, and if you're really looking more towards what the other team's doing instead of focusing on yourself, you kind of lose track of what's going on. So I think we're gonna get into the game as coaches and as players and play the game. But he's given us a good scouting report. And again, I think you look at both teams; they're mirror images of each other in some ways. I said I think West Virginia's got a little bit more to their run game, and certainly different defensive styles. But yeah, we picked Jake's brain a little bit.
Have you talked to Snyder much since you took over as the interim?
Mark and I have talked a couple of times, and it's been more, just. When you spend so much time, when you're friends and your colleagues, and our conversations have been just more about friendship and hey, what's going on, and we haven't really, traded information or things of that nature in regards to the game. I know he's certainly hoping the best for us and wants our guys and our team to go out and perform well. And we're certainly, concerned about Mark and his family and how they're doing during this time as well. So, but that's been kind of the take on our conversations.
some moments this season where Miles Garrett kind of wowed you, and where do you see him going from here?
Well, the sky's the limit with Miles. I mean, he, to me, he's our most valuable player on defense, and he's earned that. And he's a guy, again, when he's in there, he demands 2, sometimes 3 guys to account for him, and that just creates other opportunities for other players. When he's not in there, you certainly, know it as well, because maybe you're not getting as much pressure as you would with him being in there. So certainly an outstanding talent. The thing I love about Miles is he comes to practice every day, works hard. He's not a guy that sits back and takes his talent for granted. I think the game of football is important to him, and just how he handles his business and how he goes about things is fun for me as a coach to watch. And we're certainly going to try to put him in position Monday to make some big plays for us.